I just finished the newest season of The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. I'm just gonna keep calling it The Amazing World of Gumball. I think that was really good, but it's very different. Not really very different, but it has a lot of differences from the original series that I feel like are worth mentioning, but they are mostly positive, I'd say. I want to start off with the fact that the animation and overall character movement and character design has gone way better. It's very fluent, and I can very much appreciate that. I think that this season, I think that the best way to compare this show and the original is like prime Family Guy, and this season's more like prime Bob's Burger, which is a weird comparison for those who haven't seen it. But the original, there was like a lot of chaos and funniness, but like it works. I mean, I love Amazing World of Gumball, and in this, a lot of it seems a lot more character based. Like there's like each episode is related to a character in the world, and it builds off of their character. Like each character gets more in-depth world building around their section of it. I think that the best, like one of the best representations of that is the last episode of the season, because it's 20 episodes, aka the Penny episode, and I thought that was really, really good. But it's one of the many examples of them just completely like up in the ante as far as like what these characters are, instead of them just being funny ha-has. I mean, they are still funny, but there's more. I feel like another difference is that there's like a bit more of a method to the madness this time around. Like a lot of these episodes feel more like commentary, like in a comedic type of way, than it just being just chaos, like a bunch of chaotic action and funny comedy. They're like everything. I feel like stuff is still very funny. It feels just like it's like sort of part of the original series, but I feel like each episode is trying to tell you something. Not always something big, but I mean, like, sometimes it's like about breaking tradition. One episode's literally talking about generational trauma. And I mean, there's an episode literally talking about how like corporate companies try to like mess with the minds of their consumers. And I think that's very interesting. I'm glad that they kind of went that direction, especially considering the social space nowadays. I feel like we kind of need something like that. But also, I mean, I think one of the few things that people are probably going to be complaining about is the Gumball and Darwin voice. I think that I hardly noticed it. I only noticed it when I had to remind myself that the voices changed. But even still, I mean, it kind of makes them sound older, even though they are still 12 years old. And they do a good performance. It's just that sometimes when he tries too much to act like the original Gumball, you can tell that he's just mimicking the voice and he isn't actually the voice actor, or at least the original voice actor. He's still really good though. Darwin sounds more off than Gumball does, but Darwin gets a lot less focus than I thought he would, so I don't even think you'd really notice that, honestly. One last complaint before I, give my rating of it. I feel like it's really surprising they didn't focus on Rom, or whatever his name was, the character that was like the only actual plot thread throughout the original Gumball, with him being in that weird digital world, especially since they were kind of hinting at that way back when, and they just never got back to that. I'm actually surprised that he doesn't show up, which isn't that much of a problem. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a comedy. They don't need to have lore, but I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean, that would have been really interesting if they kept going with that, but maybe it's for next season. Maybe they're just going to leave that in the back. I am personally going to rate this probably a 9.2, honestly. It might be recency bias. I mean, I literally finished it like 20 minutes ago. But, I mean, I do feel like the show is really good. It keeps the feel of the original while putting a new twist on it and improving instead of de-evolving what they already have. And I feel like that's very, very good. So it'd be somewhere in the 9 range. I feel like it depends on person to person. Some people have nostalgia, like bias or whatever, and they're just like, oh, it's not like the original. But you're wrong.